Actually, let's push it forward just a tad. Just thinking about it again. Let's push it there. Let's see what happens. It works. The problem is that it's not loud enough. I'm gonna have to adjust it, or give it its own. Yeah, it's gonna go to 15. Let's just do that. That'll be easier, less effort, less frustrating.
From the second coming of Jesus. Atomic bombs on the second coming of Jesus.
I told you, dude. You're just like, no, dude, it doesn't need that. And I was like, no. Exactly. Right as everything evens out, right as everything is just like, quote unquote, salvation, almost. It's just like, mm.
Flying missiles of atomic bombs on the second coming of Jesus.
So hard to make it sound the way I actually want to, though, because the sample itself loses a lot of volume over the course of the sample. Sample itself twice. Who cares? But it loses so much of its volume that it's hard to get it to the same level that I actually want it. So we're gonna have to mess with this a little bit and figure out a good way to keep it there. Keep it at the same level I want, at least.
Flying missiles of atomic bombs on the second coming of Jesus.
There is. The problem is that I'm gonna have to compress the ever-living fuck out of it. That's... Oh yeah, I'm gonna compress the shit out of it, so it should...
Flying missiles of atomic bombs on the second coming of Jesus.
Actually, that might fix it right there.
Flying missiles of atomic bombs on the second coming of Jesus. Flying missiles of atomic bombs on the second coming of Jesus. Flying missiles of atomic bombs on the second coming of Jesus.
One more time, just to make sure it's in the right place.
Flying missiles of atomic bombs on the second coming of Jesus.
I could, but I'm not going to. I appreciate that. It seems to be a pretty good value for it. Where is the thing? That's why I wanted it right there. Yeah, I knew. That's what I was like. I want a little bit of space at the end, but I want it to still like hit exactly on the beat where I need it to. And that's why I actually went in there and tested to see how long it was, because that gave me a good basis of where I needed to place it in the song itself, just so I knew when it would end, when it would start, all that bullshit. It's amazing the things that when I first started using FL Studio, I had no idea how to do a lot of stuff. And then I was just like, oh, okay, I can do this here and do that there. And after a little while, like, it stopped being little tricks I was doing. And I was just like, it makes sense to put this here. Like, it just works, this place or that place.
Madness.
to adjust the limiter on this a little bit. It seems a little too overpowered. It was. The longest time, I had no idea how to actually get a lot of my stuff sounding the way it was, or perform the way I wanted to do. Then after a while, I kind of got a little bit better at it. I got used to different tricks and things I could get to achieve the goal I was looking for. And then after a while, I started using different techniques, and some of the techniques I used to use... Some of the techniques I used to use, I don't even use now. Like, I used to use what was called New York compression, which was basically you were running almost 2 instances of all of your drums and all that stuff. Like, you were running 2 instances of it, so it was basically playing it twice right on top of itself, so it was really loud. There are no bells in the song at all. Not a single bell. I know it sounds like... If I'm not mistaken, the thing that you think is a bell is this, the mug scrape. It's actually, like, you know those ridges that are on the bottom of a mug? Like glass or otherwise, sometimes there's those little tiny ridges. It's the sound of that, and I guess it's like a coin or something that somebody rubbed around it and then recorded that sound. That's what you're hearing. That's what you think the bell is. It's not a bell. But that's what I was saying before, that my sound was very much industrial because I like those kind of sounds. They have their own unique kind of quality where it's like, you know what it is, but at the same time, you're just like, but... Yeah, that's perfect, man. As I was saying before, the only thing in here that's a real quote-unquote instrument is the 808 that I use, which even then it's still synthetic, but that's what I use for the kick. Everything else, it's some other weird thing. I'll just go through it. So we got a wood drop, like somebody literally took a piece of wood and hit it. We got the mug scrape I was just telling you about, a dustbin lid, or something along those lines. This hi-hat isn't a real hi-hat, it's something else, I'm not sure exactly what it is. A coffee pot. A clap, if you want to call it that, that's not really what it is, it's been renamed. And this piano panel, which is like, you know how grand pianos have those big old arch things that they typically pick up and put a stick under it, it's one of those, and somebody's tapping on it. And then this snare is also not a snare, but I'm not sure exactly what it was before. I mean, you really think about it, there's not much to this song. There's only a few things going on in it, but it's just what you do with those few things that make it into a song. So...